All right, hi Aries, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Aries and Libra on Mondays. And the deck that I'm using today is called the Mystical Manga Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, the link is in the description. Let me just see if I can, there we go. Sorry, the light, I had the light too high, too bright. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull 8 cards for you guys. And once I do, we can get started on your reading. Oh man, I dropped that card. There we go. The card flew out a little bit further than I was expecting. All right. Just see if I can get these cards a little bit straighten out, but you guys have the Hierophant as your overall energy. And the Hierophant is very interesting in the sense that this particular Hierophant, I feel, focuses more on the teaching aspect than maybe other Hierophants do, because this one, I'm looking at the 2 pupils that this Hierophant has, and it's very pronounced to me. So it almost feels like some of you guys might be a teacher. Some of you guys might be dealing with a teacher. It might have to do anything with institutions, so that could be any institution of higher learning, such as a college or a university. But it could also be, I feel, religious as well, because the Hierophant has very religious connotations. But more than that, I feel like the majority of you are dealing with traditions right now. And it could be that in the past you were less receptive to your sort of family traditions or like societal traditions, and now you're either so I'm getting like 2 storylines here. Either you weren't a fan of the traditions that were sort of given to you, and you are now branching out. It's very interesting because there's 2 storylines here, for sure. I'm getting some of you rejected traditions in the past, and now you're coming back and accepting them, and for some of you it was the other way around. So you, in the past, accepted your traditions, and now you're sort of branching out and trying to find what works best for you in particular. And I feel like there's a lot of confusion about that, because even just getting that message out to me was very, made my tongue tied. It was very difficult. So I feel like you guys are having a lot of trouble, particularly in your family sphere, communicating this information. But rest assured, there's very fast communication coming in with this 8 of Wands, because the 8 of Wands talks about fast communication. And in particular, if you're wanting to start a relationship, the 8 of Wands a lot of times is called the arrows of love. So expect to see a lot of very fast communication with somebody that you may be pursuing a relationship with. And it almost feels like this might be accidental communication, because I'm looking at this Eight of Wands and it almost looks like this person is trying to catch the wands. It's almost like they were set off without this person's knowing, and now he's like, oh shoot, that wasn't supposed to happen, and now he's trying to sort of like gather it back. So you guys might be getting a lot of those haha, just kidding kind of messages right now. But I think that underneath it all, there is sort of this offer of stability, especially with this Page of Cups. It's just a matter of the fact that this person is very withdrawn, especially with this Four of Pentacles, because the Four of Pentacles talks about keeping your resources to yourself and not really sharing. And I feel like in this particular scenario, the resources are feelings, emotional, romantic feelings. And also, keep in mind that these energies might be reversed, especially for you guys now. It could be that you guys are, I'm picking up on you guys being reserved and not necessarily coming forth. But whoever this person is that isn't coming forth, they definitely are in a weird spot right now with the other person. Because the other person has the Nine of Wands, but in reverse. So the Nine of Wands, to me, is a card that talks about the wounded warrior. Right, so it's about continuing once you've been wounded and you're trying to continue, right? And it's just very much that sentiment of like going through the motions. And the reason I'm getting that is because it's in reverse. I feel like this person doesn't want to continue. It's almost like they want to give up. And looking further ahead in the reading, they have the Six of Swords. So it almost feels like person A is receiving a message very quickly, and it almost seems accidental, but it almost feels like they've given up on this person. They're not necessarily in the position to be accepting this message, and I feel like it's because person B has hurt them in the past, and that's why there's this Judgment card. And it's almost like person A wants to leave the situation. And for person B, it almost feels like the exact opposite. I feel like this person in the past felt that way. Perhaps the traditions that I was talking about earlier in the reading refer to sort of this sentimentality of settling down. It almost feels like this person was pursuing more, and person A was pursuing more, and then person B wasn't. And as a result, person A is going out and finding someone else who will settle down with them. But because like this history has happened, it's almost like they're much less receptive to person B now. But in person B, like in their energy, I see the Page of Coins, the Four of Coins, Death, and the Six of Cups. So in case it wasn't clear, I'm reading the top row as person A's energy and the bottom row as person B's energy. So in person B's timeline, it almost feels like they're coming forth now because they've experienced this death of an aspect of themselves, and they're sort of in a different place now. Something's very different. Something's changed, and as a result, they sort of see this relationship as something much more than what they may have in the past, especially since you have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups talks about soulmate energy. It also talks about nostalgia, and to me in particular, it feels like that energy of like when you fall in love for the first time, or when you fall in love with someone who makes you feel like you're falling in love for the first time again. And I feel like it's almost like this person is in that kind of an energy, but person B is a lot less receptive. Or rather, the other way around. Person B is in that energy, but person A is a lot less receptive. So I think my biggest advice to you is like, what was it that you did in the past? especially if you're person B, like, what was it that happened in the past? You know, like, if this person hurt you in the past, then, like, evaluate that as you see fit, especially with this Judgment card. But that was your reading for this time around, Aries. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really like to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Aries on Monday. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time.